How's everybody doing out there? This is Nico B, Blackeffect. I just want to go ahead and touch on this quick topic. Recently, it was a 13-year-old, Karon Blake, was killed in D.C., in Northeast D.C., I think that is. And he was killed by a man who was worked for a government employee. This was another black man. This was a grown black man, was like in his 40s. And he ended up shooting Karon Blake and killing him. He shot him twice. And Karon Blake, the scenario was Karon Blake and I guess some other knuckleheads was running around robbing, trying to rob cars or steal from cars. And I guess the shooter in question, Jason, he saw Karan and another young man robbing his vehicle or looking into cars with a flashlight. When you're looking into cars with a flashlight, your intentions aren't good. And I mind you, this was at 4 a.m, and a stolen car was found at the scene. And this was believed to be the stolen car that Karan got there in. So this young 13-year-old is already a career, like a seasoned criminal. He's already stole one car, and now he's riding down to rob more. This is something that, they seem to do. They have a getaway driver. He had a getaway driver with him and another guy who was out there looking into cars. We already know that they don't want to do things themselves. Now, this is the premise. This is what's wrong with people today. A lot of people don't want to they don't want to be real. They always just want to be emotional, operate off emotions. Before the shooter, Jason, it even came out that this was a government worker and he was black. People was automatically assuming that he was a police officer and he was white. People was already getting ready to make videos on that. The public was already assuming that. And they made an ass out of themselves because when the information came out, the guy was black. And it's just a situation where he was defending his property. We can't just come up with scenarios and think for like, what would you do in a situation? You don't know if it's a threat, how high the threat level is. People talk, he was a kid. How the hell I'm gonna tell if it's a kid if he got a ski mask on and a 40 cal? You understand? Who am I? So I'm not psychic. This man not Superman. You don't have X-ray vision. So these people committing these crimes, they have masks on. They have a whole bunch of clothes on. You don't know if they kids or not. So people saying, don't try to make it seem like at that split second, you're going to be able to discern because you couldn't even do that. I don't like the way that people are trying to crucify this man as guilty before proven innocent. Yeah, I know it was a child and that's bad. But this was a child who was going out there robbing cars. Again, riding around, with stealing cars, taking other people's stuff and don't have no regards to it. Ain't nobody, obviously he don't have no dad there to spank him, no dad there who's disciplined him before. And you had a mama talking about that he the man of the house. He was the man of my house. Don't ever say that. You just embarrassed yourself. Don't you ever, because this proved my point. I did a video on this 3 years ago or maybe something like that, a little bit less. Man, women, stop acting like treating your sons like they your man. Your son's not your man. This woman thinks she got her a thug or something like that, a little young thug she raising, a little roughneck, and then she proud of that. She ain't had no problem admitting that time with the man. He should be processed to the fullest extent of the law. What is nothing? A lot of people like, see, don't you crow. This is a government employee. This man had a license to carry. He was defending his hard-earned stuff. You have people saying that, man, property ain't worth a person's life. Well, you right. Well, stay out of my stuff. You understand? You right. It's not worth your life. So stay out of my stuff so I won't have to take your life. You understand? That should be something that you should teach your children as a mother. You're a bad mother. You're a bad mother. I don't care who doesn't like it. That's because they don't like the truth. And a lot of people are in their emotions because they know that they're bad parents. They know that they're bad mothers, single mothers and they know that they young kid is the man of the house and they can't control him. They can't, discipline him. He's out here running amok, and that's what the law says. Spare the rod, spoil the child. When you do that, you don't love your kids. You understand? Because they going to go out here and think grown men not going to have no mercy, on people trying to harm them, take their stuff. People work too hard for that. And you you're willing to go throw the hardworking citizen under the bus, man, for public opinion in courts like that. People was running around making it see, this is, like I said, you made an ass of yourself, everybody who ran and with this narrative that, oh, this was a white cop, this was another one of them. This is y'all waiting for that. You forget you still have criminals out here. If somebody was coming and stalking your mama, threatening your mother and waiting outside of her house, what would you do? If your girlfriend, or some ex-girlfriend you had, she out there out busting your mama tires. You understand? Stalking your moms, talking about, she finna, next time, she already busted her tires once. Then she say the next time she come do it, she finna bust the windows. She finna be back. She tell you she gonna be, what you gonna do? You just gonna watch her do it? What if you saw her doing it, you just gonna watch her bust your mama tires out? Nah, you not. You know what I'm saying? And the thing with this guy, like, you had a getaway driver waiting outside of someone's house, outside a neighborhood, two other, you don't know what they got. And you got two individuals looking into people's cars with a flashlight. So you catch them doing it, you just gonna be like, oh man, well, take that too. Now look, you people know you're not. Quit being hypocrites. You willing to kill, you'll be up in arms if somebody take $2 from you. Talking about the material ain't worth a life. So let somebody take $1,000 from you. You'll be ready to kill them. You understand? These people work too hard for their stuff. And you can't just let criminals go. You can't do that. Because I guarantee you that after they finished there, they would have went on to another neighborhood. My point is this. I'm not saying that they should have been, that Karon should have been killed. But he brought it on himself. That's what happened. That's what my grandma always told us. If we did something like that, we were caught in the act of thugging and bugging or doing the stuff that they told us not to do. They ain't going to trip. They not going to shed no tears for us. They not going to go to jail for us. And visit us. That's what she always said. And I agree with it. Like, look, man, we train you up in the way you should go. If you deviate from that, now this kid here, he didn't even have no training. You could tell. He didn't have no father. He had to be the man of the house at 13. That's some stuff off The Wire, man. That's some real live The Wire stuff, bro. And again, we do too much crying wolf. And it's starting to make people delirious, man. Because before this even came out, the information, people was already saying it was a white cop. No, so the police chief had to come and just disclose the information. Usually they don't even do this. And disclose it. No, this was a black man, a black government worker. And this is 4 a.m. again. Let me touch on this for you in the video. People will be like, oh, he wasn't no threat. He was just a little kid. He was this and this. Again, you don't know what this man got on, a ski mask and all black. You don't know what he is. You don't know if this is one of them Gary Coleman situations, which it could be. You don't know if this is a short dude. 13-year-olds be pretty big these days. You just don't know if you got a ski mask on. And they said that he was running toward, after the initial shot was fired at the getaway vehicle. The guy fired a shot at the getaway vehicle. And after that initial shot was fired, you saw Karon start running. Everybody, the getaway vehicle pulled off in reverse and crashed. Everybody ran and left Karon. That's how your friends do you. That's your homies. They ran off and left him. And he got so scared and panicked. He got so in such in fear. He ran towards the man. And the man the man shot him again. I don't say unload. He shot because he was shot twice. The man shot him again and killed him. And on the video, you can hear him saying things like, I'm 12 years old. I'm a kid. Stuff like that. I'm just a kid. I'm telling you, in the 4 a.m. at the height of the situation, you don't know what's going on. You don't trust those people. And the person could be like, I'm just a kid. Get close to you and stab you. Be like, I'm just a kid, get close to you, take your gun and shoot you. Or I'm just a kid, you lower your gun and they raise theirs and shoot you. This man is in a highly volatile situation. It's the same thing. Y'all don't have no empathy. Y'all have all the empathy for the criminals, man. Y'all don't have no empathy for the people who's capable of defending, the communities and who try to who try to do that every day, who put their life on the line every day. Y'all don't have no care about that at all. It's always about, well, you shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't, like, bro, you can't let criminals go. And I'm not saying, again, that deadly force should have been used in this situation. But the man's defending himself. Where is the law behind the citizens? The God-fearing citizens who actually obey. It's starting to, you want to lock this man up, mess up his job, do all this stuff, he you know what I'm saying, over somebody trying to take from him. Somebody trying to take it, like, it's no way, no justification for this mother to my kids do what kids do. Oh, woman, I was a kid before, but I never would have thought of breaking in somebody's car, and now don't get me wrong, coming up as a teenager, oh yeah, I was thugging and bugging too. Yep, I would have did the same thing. I was doing some of the same stuff that Karon was doing. I was doing that at an older age, like 16, you know what I'm saying? But now, if the funk would have happened and niggas was bussing, I'm not finna be crying I'm not finna be crying and suffering. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna get funky with them and embrace whatever come with that. That was my mindset. Now, this again, as a single mother, that single mother shit is dead. Y'all gave up y'all covering. Your covering is the head of the household, and some of you didn't. Like, some of you, the man left, and now I feel for you on that. If the man just left, you didn't, like, he just up and left. Well, yeah, that's why I take mentors. And this guy, Jason, who ended up doing the shooting, he's actually a mentor of children. And it's a sad situation, man. You have the, strong brothers out here who want to help the youth, but then people, all this crime and, and kids who don't have no guidance, young men who don't have no guidance, who are always chasing the bag and want to be on some pills and drugs. It's not all. It's not even a big majority, but you have people like that. And the majority follow them. They just, again, we want to demonize the innocent people, the law-abiding citizens, and free the criminals. It's the same thing happened with Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I don't care if this is a 13-year-old. That don't, like, I'm not in my emotions. His mother failed him, So I would advise her not to get on press conferences trying to, pull heartstrings and stuff. Like, just save face and just, don't do that, because you failed your child. And this is how it happened with FBG Duck. A lot of all these people in the grave, talking about, I'm thugging, I'm doing all this. They ain't have no father in the home, and we already know this. But prayers up to everybody involved, man. The family of the shooter and the family of the child. I hope the mother rakes up and allow this situation to wake her up, and for her to get the real Jesus Christ in her life, man. Understand the way you've been moving is wrong as well. You couldn't even reel your child in. So kids do what they're not supposed to do. Not that type of stuff. So with that being said, hey, it's a sad situation. Again, prayers up for everybody, man. This situation here, it sucks to keep seeing stuff like this. You definitely don't want to see young children, young men getting killed. This was a young man. You don't want to see him getting killed. But the Lord said, man, after 12, your sins is on you. After 12 years old, it ain't the mother who could protect you. And it's telling that at 13 is when he met his demise. It was just like, man, it was brewing. God's not allowing this type of stuff to go. You stealing from people, bro. Like, you and people, you got another guy with you. You got a getaway. You got this plan. You got a getaway driver. You got another guy with you to do the backup. And then y'all got flashlights looking inside people's car. Come on, man. Come on, man. You was on your way to career criminalism. And what it just so happened, man, that you met your end at the hands of this man. Remember, and I'm going to leave you with this. Remember this movie, South Central? The movie South Central with O.G. Bobby Johnson. It was something similar happened in that movie where O.G. Bobby Johnson's son, O.G. Bobby Johnson, went to jail. And his single mother couldn't raise his son. And all it was is Ray Ray, his name Ray Ray. He was coming up in Bobby Johnson's footsteps pretty quickly. And he ended up trying to rob. He was working for this known, which is what's probably similar with Karon. He was working for a known older criminal. and he put him up to stealing cars and stereos for him. Same thing. I'm pretty sure Karan was doing. And I've been pretty sure it was older people because the getaway driver, he was the driver. Pretty sure it was older people who put him up to this. And you got him in South Central. The boy was stealing car stereos. He ended up trying to steal one from this older man, and the older man shot him in the back with a 12 gauge. Put him, nearly paralyzed him. Put him in the hospital for a long time. Could have paralyzed him. You understand? But only by the grace of God that didn't happen. But everybody, the gangster, the guy who put him up to it, and everybody in these roguish niggas, they were blaming the man. The whole gang, they were blaming the man. And the people on the news, they put the guy on the news. The guy didn't feel good about that, about what he did. They ended up kidnapping him at the end of the movie, and trying to get OG Bobby Johnson to kill him. But OG Bobby Johnson ain't do nothing. OG Bobby Johnson wasn't going. They wanted to get the boy to kill the man. But OG Bobby Johnson told that boy, put that gun down, man. You take goods from a man, that's on you. You shouldn't be doing that. You should deserve to repay them goods back. You should but you can't. What happened when you just sell a man stuff? You can't pay those goods back. You shouldn't be doing it. This is the point. Thou shalt not steal, period. So with that being said, it's your man, Nico B. Blackeffect. I'm gone.